That's
just getting done for the Moon Township Parks and Rec Moonglow 5K. Dude, first off, the race was freaking amazing. Well, let me break that up into two parts first. The pre-race atmosphere was amazing. The race course was hard as hell. So I'm gonna say those two things right off the bat. This was like a last-minute decision this afternoon because it's a 9 p.m. race start. I was like, whatever, I'll come down to Pittsburgh way, race this. Because I actually have to come down tomorrow and race Hearrtae, no hurry, like 5 minutes from here. So I'm driving down this way twice in 2 days, which is an hour and a half from home. Wasn't sure if I was gonna do it or not, but I decided to. But anyway, I'm glad I came. Finished third overall. I think it was 18:54 was my time. Got smoked by some young guy. My hat's off to him because dude smoked the course. But when I pulled in, or was getting ready to pull in, there was like 100 high school kids just running around like the parking lot. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, what did I get myself into? I was like, this is gonna be one of those races where I'm just gonna get completely obliterated by like the competition. Because like when I see all these kids running around like high school cross country track guys, I'm like, yeah, they're probably all gonna put down like 16s or something. It's gonna be a really bad day for me. So I was like, ah, crap. So then I get out, park, walk over, get my bib and stuff. And dude, the pre-race atmosphere, I'm telling you, was nothing like I've seen for a 5K before. They had all kinds of mascots. They had the Pit mascot, well, the Pit Panthers. They had the Penguins mascot here. They had the Steelers mascot. To name a few. There was a guy dressed up as a stormtrooper. And then they had like a DJ playing. The Steelers drum line was there playing. So like it's a really fun atmosphere, and it got me into like a really good mood as soon as I pulled in and like started walking over towards it, because you just don't see that at other races. So it was pretty cool. I'm not familiar with Moon at all, and I was told like the race course is actually kind of hard. I was like, you know, whatever, 5K, it can't be too bad. But it really is pretty hard, especially the second half. So when we line up, I didn't even get ready to like finish getting ready till 5-2. I actually got my new Endorphin Pros 3s today in the mail. So they were just running their test run today. Definitely felt improvement on them over my last pair, which I think were dead on arrival. Anyway, Matt asked at the start, what do you think the winning time is going to be? I was like, you know, 17:30, I can do that. Nobody else said nothing. Just a couple of people looked at me. And I definitely would not have said 17.5 if I knew the course. I might have been able to do like an 18:15, 18:20 if I really wanted the red line the whole time, but I played it smart today knowing I wasn't going to win. So I definitely pulled back. I wasn't catching the kid at one, so you know, being smart, I was like, just hang back. So as we started, I hung with him for a couple tenths. He started slowly gapping me a little bit. I was like, whatever, we're going downhill. It's a nice downhill, like 3/10-ish to start the race. A little flat at one point, but it's mostly downhill to start. So I popped off like a 5:15 first mile, which is really fast for a first mile for me, especially when I'm not trying to like PR. I even hit like 4 something at one point on the downhill. So I was definitely going a lot faster than I should have been. And then once it like leveled out and started going uphill a little bit, you know, obviously my pace dropped. The kid who won was pulling away. It's basically what they call a teardrop looking course. For the most part, it's out and back. We'll say like 2 miles is out and back, but you're doing like a mile around this teardrop. That's when I really realized that I wasn't going to win. as we did like halfway around this one teardrop, we did a quick like a U shape around this one little parking lot. He was exiting as I was going in, which gave him like 20-30 second lead. I was like, yep, just pull back now, save some energy. And as I was leaving that same parking lot, a group of high school kids were coming in, so I had like 20-30 seconds on them. I was like, all right, just don't do nothing stupid, you can hang on a second. But I pulled back just a little bit to save energy because of that hill. I was like, don't burn yourself up on the hill pushing when you got like 2 races tomorrow, so just save it a little bit. So I did. I ended up getting caught like 4 tenths left in the race by some high school kid, which I was fine with because it only put me in 3rd. Because I pulled back a little bit more in that uphill, like the 7 tenths back. Because like there was no point in me, you know, if I'm not winning the race, you know, second place doesn't matter as long as I'm hanging on to top 3. So that was my plan. But yeah, the race course itself, I'm telling you, it's rough. I wish I could video it. Maybe if I ever get a chance to come down this way, I'm going to video it to show people how difficult it actually is. But it's really fun course. You can really fly on the first half, and then you just have to make sure you remember you have to do that on the way back, so you don't completely burn yourself up. But you can definitely bank some time. Let's see. The course is marked well. They actually have signs with arrows. All the intersections are blocked off, and there's somebody there. There's cones everywhere, so you don't go down different roads. And it, different points in time, they have little like glow things on the ground to make sure you're going the right way. So I found the course to be marked very well, and it was, I finished before dark. I know other people like who finished after dark, but they said they could still see the course, so with like all the lights and stuff like that. So it's not completely pitch black, but it's also not lit up extremely like daylight either, but you can definitely see, so you don't need a headlamp. Nobody wore a headlamp. Some people wore like Nox gears and stuff like that, but you didn't need a headlamp for the race, which is nice. The awards were cool. It was like a glow-in-the-dark medal. For being top 3, I got some kind of cool looking plaque. And the atmosphere like after the race was just as good as the beginning of the race. They have like some kind of Brewster's ice cream type thing, or ice, whatever it is, for free after the race. I got one of them. I think I got blue raspberry. DJ was playing, a bunch of kids were dancing around, which is cool. Everybody was like cheering each other on. Well, for the awards, like everybody was cheering people getting awards, so that was kind of cool. You really don't see that too much. Again, it was just a fun atmosphere. I'm glad I definitely jetted down after work and came. I would definitely recommend this race. I mean, it's a couple hundred people that are running on a Friday after or evening at 9 p.m. I'm like, what can you really expect? I wasn't expecting much, but I'll tell you what, I was blown away. Like I said, they had the mascots and stuff like that, the drum line, and just people generally just in a good mood, having a good time. It was kind of humid, I will say that. It took me like 25 minutes to stop sweating. My balls were as sweaty as if I just went for a swim. So there's that. I thought you guys might enjoy that little bit of information. Other than that, it was pretty straightforward. Knew a couple people there, but I think only actually 2 people, and then the timer. That was the only 3 people I knew today, so definitely a different bunch of racers today, which is kind of cool to see some new people, some new faces, racing new people. I don't know if I really had a good race myself. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to win, so it was kind of hard. Like, I wasn't really racing anybody the whole time, like one-on-one, so there's nothing really to talk about that way. It was just like once we went downhill, there was like a huge gap between first and me, and then like the group of kids. So it wasn't really racing too many people. It was just trying to stay ahead of them from there, which is fine with me. Save it again for tomorrow. My heart rate was a couple beats high, it was like 171. So I'm thinking maybe I'm just out of shape now from taking time off and let my body heal and not really running too much last couple weeks. Didn't really have any breathing issues. But again, pulling back that second half might have saved me some. Whereas the first half, it was pretty, even though I was running at a really fast pace, like low fives into that 4 first half of the race, it was downhill, so I wasn't like exerting too much, but I went into the red zone quickly. I don't know, maybe my body just reset a bunch, so now I have to get myself back in shape, because I am probably 5 to 10 pounds heavier than what I would like to be, so that's a big factor why my heart rate's probably a little bit up. And I worked all day, so I'm probably not as fresh, but I don't know, I just liked it. I wish I could talk more about like race per se, but there really isn't too much else to really talk about per se, because it was, again, so much straightforward. Don't really know what the race course was like. I know it was around some kind of like park and amphitheater, but being in the evening and not knowing where it was at, I really don't know what was around me. I'm just thankful that the volunteers, they actually had like neon vests on, and they had some lights, so they were waving you which direction to go, so you didn't have to get lost. Again, you don't have to get lost at this race. Like, you shouldn't get lost at this race, we'll put it that way, because there's enough signs, people pointing in the right direction. And again, it's more or less 80, I would say like 80% of an outback. You're just making, otherwise you're just making one big like teardrop loop. So you really can't get lost with like the cones and the people. So, and being at night, it's a safe course. They do shut the course down. So you don't have to worry about any cars on the course, which is awesome, because again, being at night, if you're not wearing any lights or any reflective shit, you know, you always got to worry about cars. And 100% the course is shut down, so you do not have to worry about a single vehicle. So hats off to them for doing that. And other than that, I guess that's it. So if you get a chance, check out Moon Parks and Rec Glow Run next year. It's like I guess it's probably a Friday evening every year. It's a really good time, cool awards, cool atmosphere, and you won't regret it.